What's going on YouTube? Achilles here, and today we're going to be revisiting my mono white angel deck. I really like this deck a lot because it takes advantage of all the angels in standard, and against all those aggro decks that try to win quickly, this deck thrives because you're going to be gaining life and taking advantage of cards like Exemplar of Light. And with the avatar set out, we're going to be playing a full playset of Abandoned Air Temple now, just so we could see it more often, and once we create a board, we could make all our angels really powerful. And speaking of our angels, we play them as early as turn 1 with Lightstall Inquisitor, and we curve out into Giada, potentially, which is the best 2-drop angel to play, because it will ramp us up for more angels, plus it'll buff up all our angels, depending on how many angels are on the board. And our best 3-drop angel is Resplendent Angel, because if we could gain 5 or more life during the turn at the end phase, we could create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. So between Resplendent Angel and Exemplar of Light, we build this deck because we want to gain a bunch of life, not only to use Resplendent Angel's ability, but with Exemplar of Light, we could put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. So we try to have a bunch of cards to gain life, such as Enter the Avatar State, Sheltered by Ghosts, Haliya, Inspiring Overseer, Vindicator has lifelink. The rest of the deck is here to stop all those early plays on curve, with stuff like Seam Rip and Sheltered by Ghosts. And even if you flip over the Vindicator, you could get rid of cards on the board. Starfield Shepherd could search your planes and or Lightstall Inquisitor, so it is really nice, especially since it has that warp ability. And if our opponent can't answer the board that we create, then they're going to be in trouble, because all our creatures have flying for the most part, besides, of course, the Lightstall Inquisitor. So if they can't deal with flying creatures, then we're just going to swing over everything, gain a bunch of life, and win the game. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. If you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. And if you want to become a member, you can get early access to videos. Let's get right into these games. Not the best hand in the world because we don't have any 1 or 2 drops to play on curve, but we do have Resplendent Angel. We do have Seam Rip for early removal, so I'm not going to mulligan because we could get a potentially worse hand than this. And of course, we could just draw into our early angels, or just something really good that we can use. Like, well, maybe not that, but we're going to find out. Well then. Next turn, we could Seam Rip that. If they have a Shard Mage's Rescue, then it's not going to be nice, but let's see what they do with their 3 mana that they have open. Play another one. So they have that 1 mana open for the Shard Mage's Rescue, potentially, which would be devastating for us, but I think we don't even go for the Seam Rip. I think we just go for the Angel. Because if they Shard Mage Rescue, then our turn is wasted. Where if we go Resplendent Angel, we could set up for getting 5 damage between the Avatar State and Adventurer's Inn. So I think that's the move. We're just going to bypass all this damage and try to make our token. So check it out. We are going to gain some life. We're going to go for the swing. We're now going to enter the Avatar State. I am now going to use the Seam Rip on the Scavenger so we could hold up another Enter the Avatar State if we need it. Yeah, we knew they had that. It's better to do it on that, so we could at least have the mana open. And if they can't break apart our board, the Dawnbringer will give all our angels lifelink and the +1/+1, which will trigger Resplendent Angel. So I think we're in an okay spot at the moment. I'll let that go through. I don't want to trade with that. Especially if they could just flash something in and just swing over this if I gave it first strike and whatnot. Alright, so let's bring out our buddy the Dawnbringer. Let's see how they answer this. If they let it go through, then we create another angel, of course. So, can't go wrong with that. Now they could give their creatures hexproof and indestructible with that, so that's always a move. Alright, so the good thing is, well, at the same time, they could just... this is interesting. I'm going to make them waste the Demi. Right now, they can't even use the Demi because they have to get rid of a creature. Or not get rid of a creature, they have to pay the one. So if we got rid of that, then we should technically have it. Yeah, let's swim with everyone. And 15 damage. Opponent's going first. Not too bad of a start for us. If we could get the Giada out, then we could go into Exemplar of Light a turn early. And they are going very aggressive early on. Hired Claw now. Okay. Of course, we get this on turn 2, but at the same time, we couldn't even play it on turn 1. Actually, we could have because of Cavern of Souls, but either way, let's go for Cavern of Souls, name Angel. If they can't get rid of the Giada for whatever reason, we're going to be in a good spot, but by them having a response in order... While I was casting it, you already know they have a shock, so I am not shocked by that. All I know is next turn, we could go Valkyrie and Inquisitor to make a somewhat decent board against what they're doing. So that's going to be the move. Gain some life. Go for our buddy Inquisitor. Oh, I see I did it wrong. Whoops. I was supposed to go for Valkyrie first. I'm not even thinking, guys. Big misplay on my end. Can't believe I did that. But you know what? At the same time, I'm going to do something a little different then. I'm going to take their Hired Claw, and if they try to swing with the Bastronaut, then we'll be able to swing with this to gain life. And we could make them not swing, so they'll block it, and then we could use Enter the Avatar state instead, and give our creature first strike, so we could create a very interesting situation. Yeah, that's fine. So if they swing with both, which they might end up doing it, yeah, that's 5, but then we'll gain back some life. We'll name Angel now. See, this misplay is going to be a good thing for us because we're doing this play now. So we're going to go back to 13. We're going to get a 1/1 counter, draw a card. And we made a bad situation into an okay situation. Would the alternative been a little bit better? Maybe, because we would have had a 2/4 to block the slick shot. You know what? I am not blocking it. Because I could just use Enter the Avatar State on the Exemplar, and we could gain even more life. So check it out, guys. This is going to be the move. This will enter the Avatar State. We're also going to, well, let's just swing first. We might draw something that will change up the whole game plan. So now we're going to go for Resplendent Angel. And now we'll make a token. And now we're in a really good spot. This is a lot of stuff they have to deal with at the moment. Plus we just keep gaining life, which is always nice. And we get it. That misplay ended up being good. Pretty good start for us. We're going to try to go for that turn. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, we're going to try to go for a turn 2 Giada, and then we'll just try to go over the top. But our opponent is already going over the top with double Leyline of Hope. Absolute insanity. But, of course, they still have to do a lot of things in order to take advantage of that. Of course, we draw this on turn 2, guys. But either way, if we could find a third land for the turn coming up, then that'll be great. Really? So they're going to get rid of their bats so they could pump up the channeler. Not too bad. We are going to use this, get rid of the channeler now, and that's enough to do it. This is a really nice hand. I'm going to go into Lightstall Inquisitor, into Giada, and then potentially a turn 3 Exemplar of Light. Okay, we know what they're playing. How will they go about it, though? That's the real question. Do they go for Artist Talent? Yeah, they sure do. Alright, we go for Cavern of Souls, naming Angel, play Giada, and then we'll swing. So at least the Ill-Quentia won't be effective against us, since we have Cavern of Souls at our disposal. Okay, well there goes our turn 3 Exemplar of Light play. That goes out the window. Instead, how about we go for a Starfield Shepherd and then get another Lightstall Inquisitor so we could keep the cards in their hand a little expensive. This will just throw off their curve just a little bit, because if they want to discount their spells, they have to commit their next turn to the level 2. And we do all this while applying pressure. And now next turn we could go Sheltered by Ghost to take away the monument from them. I mean, sure, they could just get rid of it, but then they have to commit their turn to getting rid of our creature, paying the ward cost and everything. And this is really good for us, because now we can not only get rid of the monument, but we could get rid of the Artist Talent as well. But I think I might hold off on the Seam Rip for now. So let's take that away from them. I think we just have to put as much pressure as we possibly can. Because without that monument, the Artist Talent isn't that good. So I'd rather just throw another creature on the board, so we could just take advantage of the situation we're in. So if they do get rid of this Inquisitor, which I'm sure they will, then they won't be able to do much afterwards. Yeah, because that's going to take their whole turn to get rid of it. And then we just get rid of the Artist Talent, so they can't use the monument for the following turn. Did they not pay the ward? I guess not. Well then. Opponent's going first, but not that bad of a start. With a hand like this, I'd really want to open up with Inquisitor to go first, but let's see what they even do for their first turn. Mulligan to 6. Interesting. So, just go into Inquisitor and make a card more expensive in their hand. Or just make a land come in tapped. Either or. So my assumption is Azuria's control or Jeskai artifacts. Or it could just be completely something else, who knows, but it's either or still. That's what it's looking like to me. Go for the Valkyrie. Guess we're going to find out now, because if it's the artifact deck, they're going to have a really powerful turn 3 play, like Repurposing Bay or the Synthesizer, or they could just go Pinnacle Star Cage, which could be anything. Let's go for Giada. Honestly, it's looking like Zuria's control. I'm just going to keep the pressure on them. If they have a Day of Judgment, so be it, but it's either we pressure them and try to win early, or the game will continue on, and we'll just lose in the long game. Our window of opportunity is in the early to mid-game at best. So, it's one of those risks you gotta take. Interesting. Good thing for ward, huh? Can't go wrong with that. They're gonna throw a Day of Judgment if I had to guess, but if they did have a Day of Judgment, I don't think they would have used the Iceberg. Let's play the Exemplar of Light and see how they react to it. They might counter it. Yep, they counter it. That's fair. So I'm not going to play the Adventurers in, because if they do, let's say, board wipe us, we lose our momentum, but if we go Exemplar of Light, Adventurers in, we'll draw a card. If that makes any sense. Now we could go Resplendent Angel. Interesting. I want to draw more cards. I think that's always the move. So let's go for another Exemplar of Light. Let's see how they react to this before I do anything. So they waste their whole turn to get rid of Vindicator, thinking that I don't have any ways to gain life, but it's all good. So we'll go for the swing now. Go Adventurers in. Gain the life. Draw a card. Now let's use this on the Inquisitor so we could, I was going to say, potentially have a way to make it stronger to trade with the Anchorage. I'm going to go for the swing, and then we pump up everything with the Air Temple. Go for Flanker. It's fair. Now we draw a card with Exemplar of Light. might as well pump it up again. So why not? Cavern of Souls is good in this matchup. What do they draw, though? That's the real question. Oh, good old stock up. But they commit half their mana to using it, so they can only do so much for 3 mana. Best thing I could think of is Split Up, if they even play it. Or maybe just Get Lost or something. Yep, Get Lost it is. That is fair, opponent. I want to waste all my creatures in case they have a board wipe. So how about we do this? Get rid of Authority. Go for another Valkyrie now. And we just pump up this Valkyrie. You don't need that. Now this is where they board wipe us. If, of course, they have it. So they do it for only 2 mana, so they could potentially Day of Judgment if they could, of course, find it. And look at that, we got it. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comment section down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you have not already. And if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.